I've always appreciated the new generation of roguelike games that have come out. For those of you who don't know, roguelike games are games that have a certain style of play where you cannot save or reload after you die or are defeated. Once you lose, you have lost. The only thing you can do is play from the beginning again and try to beat it by learning from your last playthrough and maybe relying on a little bit of luck. When the first Darkest Dungeon came out, I couldn't get enough of it, and after playing the second one for a bit, I see how it has added another rogue-style game to the mix by incorporating another mechanic. In the first game, if you lost a dungeon fight, your characters were dead, and given how much you leveled them up, it could be fairly devastating. In the second game, we see a bit of a change. Yes, if your characters die, it is difficult to replace them, but you still get to gain your Candles of Hope, which is what you can use to upgrade things for the next engagement. This could be seen as taking it easy on the player, since you still get a reward even if you lose a fight, but I would argue it gives the game an even more grim tone. The game mechanics are set up in a way that you are expected to lose, or to put it more grimly, you have to lose in order to progress. This is the different from the first Darkest Dungeon game or any of the other roguelike games I've played. In those games, losing either meant a huge setback or a complete devastation, causing a complete restart with nothing to show for your loss. But Darkest Dungeon 2 almost makes it clear in one small way that not only is failure to be expected, but failure is what you must do to eventually succeed. From the other roguelike games I've played, this is unique to Darkest Dungeon 2, and I can't help but find myself fascinated by this distinction. This distinction demonstrates the difference of how we often face failure, as opposed to how we should perceive failure. Most of the time we face failure, we do so with a catastrophic fall from grace, with nothing but loss in our mind. This is the lesson which most roguelike games condition us to think, and every playthrough beats us down with the idea in your head, don't fuck up or you'll lose everything and have to start over again. On the other hand, we could see failures as part of the process. You fail, you learn. Every failure allows you to grow with the ongoing narrative that is your life. This is the relation to failure in Darkest Dungeon 2. As you lose your last character in a fight, you are hit with a similar turmoil that you will feel playing any other roguelike game. But before the curse words take over too much, there's those Candles of Hope to regain your resolve. It hits you almost as if the game is telling you, no, you don't get it. Failure is part of the experience. Failure is how you move forward. Failure is how you succeed. I find this difference in Darkest Dungeon 2 a profound one. It might just help us recognize how we can perceive failure in our own lives. We often allow failure to hit us with devastation or frustration, similar to how we lose our shit when we lose in most other roguelike games. But Darkest Dungeon 2 allows us to see the other possibility. Maybe a few failures along the way is how we succeed. It's all part of the process, and by no surprise the process is sometimes ugly and unpleasant, but we don't have to let the lows define us. There must be some kind of candles of hope we can take away from this failure and come back stronger than before. But Darkest Dungeon 2 doesn't stop there with its theme of failure. Every character that you recruit has its own backstory. And as you progress through the game, you get small snippets of the character's past. By no surprise, the game with a dark and gritty tone delivers characters with their own grim narrative. The Vestal was a nun with secret carnal desires, which once exposed leads to her torture and exile. The Highwayman accidentally killed a mother and child in a robbery gone wrong. The Grave Robber poisoned her abusive husband, and upon his death stole his valuable rings off his laid-to-rest corpse. The Occultist is an occultist who has several occult members killed during a ritual he performs out of nothing but his own curiosity and desire for power. These are the backstories of the characters you take on a journey to fight evil. Each and every one of them has an origin story of some kind of failure or defeat, and many of them even doing some pretty terrible things. Yet there they still stand, ready to go on a dark path to the darkest dungeon. Their past failures do not stop from them trying to change, trying to adapt, trying to right their past wrongs by doing what needs to be done now. Every character you recruit has endured through their own kind of failure, and although each of their failures defines their past, it does not define what they do next. The game mechanics and the origin stories of these characters would be enough to hit home the message that with every failure comes an opportunity to do better the next time. But the game goes one level deeper than that. Throughout the game, you also get snippets of your own story as a character in the game. As the one recruiting all these ragtag characters, you also have your own past trials. You learn fairly quickly that the dark horrors which plague the apocalyptic world are in fact all because you and your professor chose to engage in a cult-like study of the Iron Crown, which unleashed eldritch beings on the world. So you, as the player, are simultaneously the one responsible for bringing forth the apocalypse, while also being the one set forth to bring in an end to said apocalypse. Your failure is now the mountain you are set towards climbing, set towards rectifying. Your past does not define what you do next. The game mechanics condition you to accept failure as part of the process. The stories of the characters you recruit teach you that everyone has endured through their own kind of failure. And the origin of your character brings the message to the forefront that no matter the failure you've gone through in the past, it does not have to end the story, for no matter your failure, there's always a path of redemption. Failure does not define you. What defines you is what you do next. And if you like that video, then you can always check out my book that talks about those issues and many more to help you through some of the hard times in your life. It's got a title so edgy, I'm not even sure if I can say it on YouTube. So check it out in the description, and as always, stay tuned for more videos to help you through those hard times, as well as liking, commenting, and subscribing for all that other fun stuff with the algorithm, you know? Yeah, like, subscribe, write a little comment about how I'm silly or whatever. Do it. Do it now. Yeah, there you go. Wasn't so hard to do, right?